Welcome to the 4th episode of the Questions That Don't Matter podcast,
where you get answers you don't need.
Disclaimer. We apologize in advance if you believe these questions do matter.
So our first question of the day is, what is the purpose of lips?
So, my best guess, is this just for humans or like animals as well?
For mammals.
For mammals. Just for eating better, I guess? Maybe making sounds better? I don't really know.
Yeah, you're basically right. The purpose of lips, the reason why they've evolved with us, is because of sucking, communication, and eating. So sucking is fundamental to our survival. It's the very first thing all mammals learn, so it's a primitive reflex, and sucking is important because of breastfeeding. And then communication, lips help with communication because they help you articulate for speech, because you can't say certain sounds without your lips. And they also have you be able to smile at others or frown at others and stuff like that. And lips are good for eating because they help you chew and swallow with your mouth closed. And here's a fun fact. You want to know why our lips are red?
Yes.
It's because of blood.
Oh. So like our lips, they're just like flesh. It's just like flesh there.
I think so.
And what sounds can we not make with our lips?
Pee.
Oh, okay.
Like, try talking without your lips.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work well.
Yeah, it's not good. Well, we can obviously talk without them, but it's not good for articulation.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think we would have, like, adapted and had, like, a different speech and been fine if we didn't have lips?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could still understand each other without them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the reason I didn't say kissing is because our lips didn't stay with us through evolution because of kissing.
Yeah.
And actually, 10% of cultures don't kiss or don't know anything about kissing, or that's even a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So it's like, is kissing just a cultural construct? Like, do we...
Basically, it's not a universal thing. It's not like something you naturally do if other cultures do.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. So the next question is a question my dad was actually wondering, because I think there was a squirrel nest outside of one of our windows. And so this question is, why do we never see young or baby squirrels?
Is it because the parents want to just hide their kids until they're fully grown?
Well, kinda, yeah. According to naturemuseum.org, the answer is pretty simple, and that's just that baby squirrels don't leave the nest until they are fully furred and able to survive. They just want to be, like, totally sure they'd be okay in the world. And there are usually 2 litters of squirrels, one which leaves the nest around April or May, and one leaves the nest around September. And litters have about 2 to 4 squirrels in them, and they are raised for about 2 months. That's according to whatdosquirrelseat.org. And then when seeing a baby squirrel next to like a full-grown squirrel, you're unlikely to tell the difference between the young one and the grown one. In the spring especially, because the grown squirrels have shed their winter fat. But adult squirrels are generally bigger in the winter, so in like September and stuff, you can see it more easily, the difference between baby and adult squirrels if they're next to each other. And spring babies actually have a higher survival rate. I forgot to look into why that is, but they do. And also, if you're a squirrel watcher, you can report your findings and observations to projectsquirrels.org. projectssquirrel.org. So, there's that.
So because you can't differentiate a baby squirrel and an adult squirrel, is it because they're the same size?
They're pretty much, yeah, because, like,
So how long does it take for a baby squirrel to be, like, fully grown?
well, they're raised for about 2 months, so I think about that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes me laugh at me. Alright. Our next question is going to be a quick one, and it is, why do we put tile in bathrooms? Quinn?
So my best guess is, like, wood gets gross when it gets wet all the time. So tile can help with that. And yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, the reason why this is going to be so short is because simply tiles are water resistant, so they'll last longer, they won't corrode due to water exposure, and they won't retain any bacteria or odors. So yeah.
Interesting. Was that the original purpose of tile? Where did it originate?
Well, according to Luca.com, tiles originated in Mesopotamia and Egypt and started out purely as decorative purposes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So our final question for today is, why do we feel comfortable having silences? And what is your guess, Amy?
Isn't it uncomfortable? What?
Yeah. So our question actually is, why do we feel uncomfortable with having silences?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the answers come from EliteDaily.com and PsychCentral.com. And so, an uncomfortableness with silence is something that we actually learn. It can come from how we were raised. If there was, like, TV always playing in the background or music frequently playing in the background, and now with, like, frequent alerts from social media and all of that, it has become worse. And just, like, we live in a noisier society than we used to, so we're rarely around silence, so we're just, like, not used to it, so it's uncomfortable for us. The fear of silence is called sedatophobia, and it is becoming more and more common. Silence also, like, part of it isn't as much being scared of silence as it is being, like, scared that we have nothing to distract us from our thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's what Dr. Forshee, a doctor of psychology, says, is that it's just that we are scared to be alone and in tune with our thoughts. And a quote from her is, unstructured moments make people vulnerable to parts of their personalities coming out that they typically try to keep under wraps, such as stuttering, overcompensating with humor, saying dirty jokes, etc. So, it's pretty common to have it, like, if you're alone or even, like, during conversation with other people. And if you find yourself having this fear of silence, the best way is to face it straight on and, like, turn off the TV or any music you listen to and drive in silence. And that can just help you become more comfortable with your thoughts as well. So it's an interesting thing to think about, because I've been thinking about it since I learned this. I'm like, do I want the music on because I enjoy it or because I don't want to be alone with my thoughts?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
That it's, yeah.
Yeah.
But since, like, our society has gotten louder, have, like, people born nowadays, are they struggling more with being alone with their thoughts than, like, baby boomers or anything?
I think so. It says, just because our world is so much louder, like,
We're just used to that?
Yeah, and
Okay.
so we're really like, and now since it is so much louder, like, we don't ever really truly have complete silence, but even, like, not having something to distract us is kind of scary to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Questions That Don't Matter.
They say you learn a new thing every day. Well, with this podcast, you learn 4 new useless things every 4 weeks or so.
Please leave comments in the comment section for a chance to have your pointless questions answered in the next episode.
This has been Quinn
and Amy
on Questions That Don't Matter.